Alright guys, welcome back to another Mascom event video. Peter here, and today, going to the PTI Philadelphia Finals. A Kano mirror in the finals? Oh buddy, this is going to be a good one here. And what can I say? To the people I actually know quite well in the Kano community as well. It's going to be Majin, obviously my teammate, MajinBae, and then versus Nathaniel Snyder here. Both good players. Actually, quite funny because when I top-aided the Realm Invitational, they actually played round 1. Majin on Nate. Majin did get it at that event too. So let's see if if Nathaniel can stop hitting the cards off the top of his library real quick, but he get the little revenge match here, you know, coming in here. So Majin, higher seed, is going to choose to go second, going second in the Kano mirror. Very, very good. It's basically a tempo-oriented game plan, like 99% of the games. It's just going to be a tempo game plan. Oh, and then because they didn't know whose turn it is, they'll make them do the dice for the stream, because it is very hard to know whose turn it is in the Kano mirror. If you haven't played the Kano mirror a lot, it's actually quite easy to know who's what turn it is for the Kano mirror, because you're not playing on your opponent's turn in the Kano mirror like you would in either your matchup, because you would just die. That's the thing. You just play on your own turn for the vast majority of your games, and then you play maybe one turn on your opponent's turn, and that's basically it. Unless very drastic things happen to where you just have infinite amount of cards randomly. So going to be Kanoing multiple times. I'm gonna start off with prognosticate. He's gonna shoot himself, and then he's gonna AB. He's gonna shoot himself, AB it, and then because you don't want to give the Cancelos counters to a lot of people. He was thinking about gazing, but he actually can't gaze because he's already played a red tome for the turn. Okay, he's gonna pass his turn. Majin's going to Kano to see what's on top here, with the lesson and the prognosticate. Looks like he has either double blue in his hand or a red blue in his hand. Don't know what the top card really is right now. No, it has a yellow and a blue in his hand. So there's going to be a gaze, and then he's going to Kano another time. He's going to see yellow tome and cast yellow tome. He's going to say okay. He's going to draw 2 here. Kanoing one more time. Okay, sees a 1 for 2 off the top. Not the best hit, but it's going to allow you to be able to gaze right after. So he's going to shoot the 1 for 2. He's going to AB it. So you can do this now because the Cancelos is already activated. So it really doesn't matter. Because he's already got the resource off Cancelos, you don't really care about shooting him. And you actually might be able to get a decent amount of damage through. Either you can get damage through, or you can just take that arsenal card from Nate's hand, which is going to be super important, right? You don't want them to have if you can keep them out of an arsenal, it's super, super good. So he's gonna shoot him for 3 with the Waiting Moon. Let's see if he pitches this card. Let's see if he has an arsenal or not. So he's gonna AB 3. So it doesn't have a card from arsenal from Snyder's side. And then he's going to leave the snapback banished here as well. He's not going to shoot it. Majin has 2 cards in his hand at the end. He's going to be perfectly fine with that as well. Doesn't want to really tap out there because if he misses off the top, Snyder can definitely just throw the snapback at him and trade a couple damage each, and that's not that good. But taking the tempo play of him not having an arsenal is really good. Majin's going to Kano off the top here. And soon we'll see a 0 for 1 here. Not the hit that he wants to see off this one. You really want to see a red card here, and then be able to red card plus Waiting Moon here. he has the Aether Flare in hand, so he's gonna come in for 3. Obviously, you're going to AB3 that because that is one of the explosive cards with the Aether Flare. Just gonna come in for additional 1. This is the real test if Nate wants to AB this plus the Winning Moon, because you know that both of them are gonna come in, so you can pitch another blue here. Just depends on what you have in your hand, right? A lot of times in the Kano mirror, it's really all about tempo. You really shouldn't be scared of. You shouldn't be scared if you're gonna die, right? Like you. Realistically, most people only go for it when you're like sub 10 HP on both sides, which makes sense. Nate didn't pitch earlier for the 1 and gets a little bit punished here by taking that extra 1 damage here, so the extra chip. But it looks like he just has double blue in hand, so he's just going to start with a Potion of Deja Vu and then have that last card in his hand. In the mirror, you really just want to just play a lot of these potions out, but you do give tempo, right? But it just depends on like if your opponent can take that tempo away from you or not. So Kano from Majin here sees an E-Pot on top, super good hit from this position, because you do just want to hit these potions not faster than your opponent. Like you don't really care too much about like stacking a little bit more. It does help you a lot more if you have 3 potions versus like none for your opponent. The E-Pots are definitely better than Deja Vus in this matchup, because you want to, if you have 3 E-Pots out, it's basically you're almost unkillable at that point, or it's like super hard for you to die basically. So Majin Kano's again hits a gaze from Gaze the Ages, which is really good. See if Majin has anything in his arsenal, or if he just has a card from hand. He has a Tome from hand, so he's gonna elect to draw 2, but he's going to opt to, and then bounce back to his hand, draw those 2 cards because he just sees multiple blues. Kano again. He's gonna put the card back on top. So it's gonna be one of 2 things. It's gonna either be a nourishing, or it's going to be an eye. So it really sucks because like at this turn you have like 4 cards in your hand and you're Kanoing. So you just really want to get damage into your opponent. But your entire thing is just being able to Winning Moon your opponent for 2 and take 1 card out and then passing your turn. So yeah, he keeps 2 cards in his hand, and then he's going to draw. Okay, it was a Nourishing Emptiness, which is pretty good. Oh, it was a Nourishing and then an eye off the top. So even if it wasn't a Nourishing, the next card was an eye no matter what. So it's pretty interesting. So Nate's going to start off with a Lesson in Lava here, and he's just going to AB3 first Cancellous counter from Majin here. And then he's going to Kano with the other blue in his hand. He's going to see a Emeritus Scolding. And then he's going to activate Cancellous to shoot the Waning Moon for 2. So you can be able to go 3-2-2 here, because he's going to be able to shoot the Waning Moon and the Scolding. You'll be like, oh, well, if you do that, like, can he just kill you in the back end? Not really, because he's already pitched a card. So it's extremely hard for Majin to be able to kill at 29 when he's already used 1 card from his hand. He does have the E-Pot, but it's like super hard because you can't get the break points like you can in a regular match when you're playing like Crucible plus Node, because Crucible will do more damage with Wildfire throughout the entire time. And then he's going to pitch this Cracked Bauble, which is an Ividia, because you have to basically always get a proxy for it. And he's going to see red Voltic and blue. He's going to see red Voltic and a blue. So he's going to put the Voltic to the bottom and the blue on top after he AB'd it. And then he's going to take another 2. He's just going to AB 1 of that 2. He's going to go to 29 as well. So you get a little bit of chip damage on both sides, 29 to 29 here. So it's a decently slow start. Sometimes you, at the very beginning of these Kano mirrors, people don't block super, like, all the time. But these hands have looked extremely awkward from both sides. Majin also has E-Pot plus Nourishing Emptiness in his hand, but he had an E-Pot in his arsenal. So he just decides to play the E-Pot from his arsenal, but he has 0 tempo because of it. And then, so Nate also has the Cracked Bauble Ividia here. It's going to be, I assume, casting this 2 for 5. Yeah, these 2 for 5s are the best in the matchup. It's the reason why you see extra Voltics from Majin's side. He's playing Voltics and the Swell Tidings, as you'll see in this game. They're just extremely good in the mirror and very good. So Swell Tidings towards Majin real quick. It looks like he has like double blue, double red in his hand, which is pretty bad because you do want to play that third E-Pot from your hand here, from Majin. But you're going to take 5 and then additional 2 at the very least on this turn. So he's coming in for 7. You have AB4, obviously, so he might just pitch for 4 and then play the E-Pot and pass. Might be his thing. So let's see. You definitely want to get rid of this Wildfire. The Wildfire is not that good in this matchup at all. You would think that like maybe it'd be good. Nah, it's just not. You're not trying to combo people in this matchup. The Wildfire is basically a 2 for 4 in this matchup, which is like pretty bad rate. But it is a lot of the time like it is a way for you to kill somebody. But so he actually pitches this Blazing instead of like keeping his arsenal for maybe a play later in the game. Just wants to free up his arsenal here. Finds a Tome at the top, really good. He's gonna be able to Kano again. Sees a Blazing, which is only gonna do like 1 damage here so far, which is not that good. But I guess you do banish it because the Blazings are really bad unless you hit it on like the literal 1 turn. So he's gonna Kano again to see what he gets off the top. It's gonna be a blue Emeritus Scolding. He's gonna cast it for 2 here. So every damage he takes from this point, you know the Blazing's gonna come in, right? So an AB1 here, take 1, go to 27. This Blazing's gonna come in for 2 because he's taking 2 damage this turn, so he's gonna go to 25. Draw back up to 4 here. Majin just has a E-Pot in his hand. He's gonna play it, and has, you know, no cards in his hand, pretty fully tapped out. It's really interesting here because he does have triple E-Pot, and then he's gonna Waning Moon for 2 here. This is something that like you really can't. You can, I guess, you can Kano in response here, but it looks like he has double red in his hand, so it's not. He's not uniquely trying to. It doesn't really look like he's going to try to respond on this turn. If you had like multiple blues, I think you can like make the argument of trying to get some chip damage in, because if you hit something extraordinary, he might have to pop an E-Pot, or take the damage basically on the chin, which is pretty good for you both ways. But Majin gets out of it here with triple E-Pot setup, which if you have 3 E-Pots here, like you're vastly ahead of your opponent. You're behind in tempo because you had to take so much time to play these E-Pots here. So let's see what he does. He's just gonna pitch a blue here for the Spindle and take 1 here. So opt 1. And then he's just gonna pass priority here and go to his arsenal. So he finally has an arsenal card. If he had an arsenal card before he drew up last turn, if he had anything significantly good, he could do it. But this is going to be the Nourishing turn as well. So he has triple E-Pot plus the Nourishing on this turn. So this is going to be super good. If he can arsenal a red card here as well, then he's going to be able to have like basically a 6-card hand, which is super good in this Kano mirror. Obviously, he whiffed off the top with the Nourishing earlier in this game, which would have been really good if he could hit literally any other card in his deck. But now this is like the real power of the Nourishing Happiness. Doesn't look like he drew too many resources on this turn though. Looks like he drew like 3 or 4 reds, which is not what you really want to see. When you hit with Nourishing, you really want to see like quad blue and then like 1 red spell, to be able to cast the red and then pitch for Kano, pitch for Waning Moon, and then be able to pitch your opponent as well. So you just like give up less life and then you pressure your opponent on the back end. But because he has so many reds in his hand, does not look like he's going to be able to capitalize on this 5-card hand that you would want to do. Let's see what he does here. Coming in for the 5, the Swell Tidings is also a really good check if he has a lot of resources in his hand, because pretty much you would definitely AB4 here because you know that the Waning Moon is also going to come in on the end. It's an AB2, take 3 here. Pitching double red, which feels so bad, so bad. And he's gonna come in for 2. Majin's gonna take 2 as well. So he's 6 life ahead. Oh, and he has the snapback from Arsenal as well. Pretty good punish here from Nate's side. Majin's gonna take another. So he's 9 points behind right now, which is an incredible in the mirror. But he does have triple E-pot versus no E-pots on the other side. So 9 points down, but triple E-pot. It's around the same value right there. But there you go, Majin coming in with, yeah, so you had quad red, 1 blue, which is the exact opposite of what you want. You would want quad blue, 1 red. So he just comes in with a multiple for 5 though. And then surely he's probably another Waiting Moon on the back end as well. So coming in for 7 damage basically on this turn. Looks like Nate finally found an E-pot for himself, and then he also found his Nourishing. You see his red, looks like he has double red, double blue as well. A little early in the morning for me. Sorry guys for the yawn. And I'm talking a lot, so this is one of my favorite matchups as well. Kano mirror. I know a lot of people say they don't like it. I uniquely like it. And then you can see 16-19 here. When there's one awkward hand you get back on the side. A lot. Majin almost droop to 5 cards randomly. But Nate gonna come in with 6 with his own Nourishing. Looks like Majin's hand is triple red, yellow, which is super, super awkward as well. Just had back-to-back hands that are just like, very suspicious. So, don't know what's in his arsenal either. Might just be another red card that he can't play because there's so many red cards in his hand. So if he ever has like a triple blue or a quad blue hand, then he can play that from his arsenal. It could be like maybe a wildfire that's 2 for 4 or something like that. Coming through. He's gonna block for 3, take 3 here, go to 13. Nate's like significantly ahead at this point because he's 6 points ahead and he's gonna have the 6 card hand here. But Majin does have the triple E-pot, which you can't, which is very, very good. You could basically almost never die with triple E-pot on your turn. Well, Majin actually has a yellow tome from his arsenal, which is really, really good. That is significantly good. Because he's going to draw 2 cards, and he's going to gain 4, so he's going to go to 17 to 19 here, which is, they both like hitting their decks. It's really fun. So 17 to 19 here. It looks like he drew a couple blues here as well, so his turn's not completely over. He's going to be a Kano. Has a Lesson of Lava. That is actually a good hit here, because it looks like he has a... Looks like he has a snapback in his hand, so you'd be able to play the Lesson plus snapback here. He's going to start with the Waiting Moon, because you want to get the card out of your opponent's hand before you start doing the other... Start pitching as well, just because your hand looks a little resource light here. So you know you have like the yellow tome, and then you also have a snapback here. You do unfortunately probably have to give up this yellow tome to be able to play it from Arsenal for this play. If that Aether Flare is a red in your hand, you can't cast everything. So this is going to be a Lesson Level for 3 here. Looks like from Nate said he has double Wildfire in his hand. So doesn't have a lot to pitch for. Okay, yeah. Double Wildfire has a red tome and a yellow tome. So this is just a very uniquely awkward turn here from Nate. Has to also pitch the E-pot, which you're already so behind on these E-pot generations that like that feels extremely bad. I know it looks like he probably has another E-pot in his arsenal, but he's just trying to get the max amount of AB here. So he's gonna AB 3 this as well, and then he's gonna come with the snapback. This is the perfect punish. He's gonna take 3 here. So both nourishing turns from both players ended up being like so many reds that like you actually took more damage than you would have if you just had like a regular like multiple blue hand, which kind of sucks. But Nate does just have the play of I'm gonna play a E-pot from my arsenal here with 2 cards in my hand. just going to pass and then draw back up. I think it's good to not try to Kano on your turn there and just play like more of this like super tempo. You have like the red flare in your arsenal here. I heard the banter is really good in this game, but I did not. Obviously, I have it muted for the commentary, but I could just read their mannerisms and stuff like that, and talk about how like it's really funny when you play against in a Kano mirror, because anytime you hit like a 0 for 1 off the top, everybody's like ooh, ooh. But yep. So it comes in with this dart for 1 damage here. He already got the AB3 from the flare. So he's gonna take the 1 from the dart here, and then he most likely we'll probably see a Waning Moon activation here. But he's gonna Kano first, see what he can hit off the top. It's gonna be a 1 for 2. He's gonna cast the 1 for 2 here. Still have Waning Moon up as well. The 1 card left in his hand. This hand is Swole Tidings, a Tome, and a E-Pot. Also has a yellow tome from his arsenal as well that we know of. See what he does with it here. He's gonna bank in his Deja Vu by the looks of it here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna pitch the red tome and your blue to Kano, and then you're going to push on a Deja Vu, you put the red tome on top, and then you'll be able to draw the other 2 blues. Yep, so he gets to draw the other 2 blues, and then this 2 is coming in here, so he definitely looks like he's just gonna pitch the other red. This is an AB2 it here as well. Then he's gonna Waning Moon for 3 here, and it's gonna take 2 from Majin. Actually, a really good play. Little cheeky, get a couple damage in with that Waning Moon as well. Use your Cancelo's counters because you were at 4. So he's gonna play like his E-Pot as well. So he's gonna go to 2 E-Pots. We know the 3rd one is at the bottom of his deck because he did pitch it a couple turns earlier. So this game is gonna look like he's just gonna be 2 E-Pots versus 3 E-Pots for the late game as well. 2 E-Pots is pretty hard to get around, but 3 E-Pots is like super hard. So we're probably gonna see 1 explosive turn, if I have to say, that somebody's gonna pop. You know, something you do is you can try to bait out a couple E-Pots, right? Is if one person goes for it, and then, or like you're in really bad position, say he like there's another like 3 or 4 reds drawn in one hand, and you have to pop an E-Pot to stay in it, then the opponent can go for it later down the line. If you have 0 E-Pots, only have 1 in your hand, the range of you dying is a lot easier. Obviously, the normal Kano math is like when you're at 30, like at 36, you're already in like lethal range if you tap out. But obviously, this goes even deeper because it's gonna be 15 to 15 here. It's gonna be 15 to 15 here, which is gonna be pretty good. He's gonna take 1 here, go to 14. Has the multiple blue hands here, so you're pitching the double blue here to be able to AB4, and then you know the Waning Moon's not gonna deal 2 damage to you because you have 2 floating. Sometimes in the Kingdom Mirror you just make them AB the 2 because you can't give them a Cancelo's counter because it's only once per turn. But you just don't want them to be able to like use the 2 resources to randomly like flip the game on Kanoing and then hitting something and then winning mooning you back as well. So he's just no winning moon here. Take the 2 resources to trade the 2 resources, then pass. Okay, Majin draws up. Just gonna pitch a Lesson of Lava to play this tome from Arsenal. So he's gonna be able to draw 2. He's gonna gain 3 life, go to 17 here. Looks like we see another yellow tome, a lesson, and a... It does not look like a good hand. It looks like just a yellow and a red here from Nate. Just sees a snapback off the top, so just gonna shoot the snapback for 3 here. So an AB1, take 2 here, go to 13. Does get to keep that yellow tome in his arsenal as well, so we'll have that for the following turn to gain additional life here. Let's see what Majin can do with this 4-card hand. We've had the same arsenal for a couple turns here, so it can just be a Wildfire, maybe a Blazing if it's been there for a lot long, just kind of like breaking your arsenal for a little bit. Wildfire probably is the worst one out of them. Blazing obviously allows you to get like a lot of like random combo kills, just like if your opponent taps out a little bit too much, or just he has too many red cards in his hand. It's like he pitches for pitches 2 cards and then comes in with like a Lesson on Lava and pitches a yellow. You could like think about doing some stuff. Watch and think about what he's gonna do here. Already played the red tome, drew 2. Has, I know, a red snapback in his hand. It looks like a couple of blues here. So he's gonna start with the snapback for 3. Gonna get AB3 here. Still has the Winning Moon activation and still has a Kano. Most likely with has Deja Vu plus another blue in his hand. Either another blue or that's a red. I can't really tell too much, just Aether Flare. Obviously we play both, so. Okay, it's gonna be a red, so it's in the Kano. They're floating, hits the gaze. Gaze is really good, being able to opt to. And hit that blue back to your hand, right? So you really want to end this turn on this Waning Moon here. So it's just gonna Kano again. Put those both to the bottom, Kano again. It's gonna be just another gaze. So he's just gonna opt to again. He sees a Lesson of Lava in a blue. That's pretty good. You can put the lesson on top. Flips the lesson. Is it gonna come in for 3? Most likely going to use AB3 here, because you know that there's also going to be a Winning Moon coming right after. Additional 2 here. Takes 2 to go to 15, so 15, 13 here. It's like quad blue from Majin's side. So Nate, go and play this yellow tome from his arsenal here. Most likely not going to get responded to just because, like, you just take so much damage on the back end. If you look at Majin's camera, the very corner of it, you can see Brody Spurlock back there. You see Naive and Sant in the background as well as at Nate's camera, if you're looking. Majin's really thinking about this one. I think you should just let this resolve because he just has one extra card in his hand, 2 floating, double E-pot rate. So let him, you know, gain 3, go to 18. It's gonna suck a little bit, but looks like Majin's actually on the Kano here. Looks like blue Voltic. A little bit of an interesting spot to Kano, but seems like if he does Kano here, it might be a Wildfire in his arsenal, if we're Kanoing. Obviously don't know what the arsenal card is. He's gonna Kano a second time, so he's less than the lava. So I guess we can count damage here real quick. So 2 floating, it has 2 E-pots, so it's 6 resources, then a mystery card in hand. Say it's just 9, because if he has just an additional blue. If Majin had Wildfire and Arsenal, I guess you could note it as well, because you have a whole bunch of E-pots as well, so you could come in for... Okay, so isn't it actually just fully extended? We're just going to start with the lesson, so he's going to get the... He's going to get the blue out of his hand, so he's going to draw a little bit less cards, has 2 floating. So he's going to come in for 3 and then 3 here. So he's going to take 1 from Nate's side, and then Cancelo's Waning Moon. So it's going to be another 3, go to 11. So he's going to draw 2 cards, go to 13. So 13, 13. Doesn't have an action point. Just actually winning moons and pass, so not terribly bad for Majin's side as well. Looks like Majin draws another triple blue, so just has quad blue in his hand as well. Probably the reason why he went for a little bit more of a aggressive move there. Dude, another yellow tone from Arsenal, which is 3 yellow tones from Arsenal back to back to back, which is just an insane tempo play. That's why the hand was a little bit awkward after he drew the 2 cards, because he just does kind of pretty good here. So he's going to be able to gain 5, go to 18. He's going to Kano, pitching a yellow with those 2 floating. He's going to see a Aether, which is just going to be that 0 for 1, make a ponder from the new set here. So sees these 2 blues, so just hitting multiple blues here. Sees multiple blues. Off the top, so it looks like 4, 5, 6 here with the Waning Moon. So just gonna AB1 here and get the Cancelo's counter back. Kano one more, not Kano, just playing the quickening. Is gonna AB2 this. Takes the 1, goes to 10, so he's gonna make a ponder token. Snyder, unprepared, does not have a ponder token on him. Majin has the cool for ponder. Let's give it to him. Uses Cancelo's to Waning Moon here as well. 1 takes another 2, goes to 8. Kano's again. It's gonna see Gaze. So Gaze is the ages. We see a Voltic and a blue. I think you just cash in the blue Voltic no matter what here. Just because like it is just an additional 3 damage instead of like a blind flip again. So this would be 3. So he's gonna AB3 this one because it's a little bit too much damage. This is why you play the 2 cost blues, just because like they do additional damage. They feel a lot better than hitting a 0 for 1 off the top, obviously. So sees I off the top, so he's not going to use that ponder to arsenal something. Majin here is going to come in with the wildfire for 4 here. So that means that we're at second cycle for Nathan, because he's drawn so many cards that he's probably ahead in pitch check to Majin. So, oh, sees a wildfire off the top here. When it ends up blazing in hand. Okay, so if you remember at the very beginning of this game, he did pitch this Aether close to a blazing before. Like, he pitched a blazing before, and then he, like, blazing with a whole bunch of blues, and then Aether was one of them, and then there was a wildfire pitched this following turn. So this is, he has the blazing in hand from the previous turn, the very beginning, and then the wildfire from the turn after here with the paired with that same blue. So looks like he's going to keep, yeah, so you top, if you're going for it, you're topping, because you can hit the wildfire off the top, and then when you Kano, so he's gonna AB1 take 3 here to get the Cancelo's trigger. So he so basically he's paying 1 less for the Waning Moon, which is pretty smart, and you're getting the wildfire out of the way. So casting the wildfire, I assume if you're going for it, you're paying for the node here. So he's going for it. So it has the node 2 floating. So it's gonna come in for 5. Looks like Majin just has an additional blue in his hand as well, so he's not completely out of it, right? Even if you did have a red, you could Ragmuffin's hat at this specific position, because you have to. He's definitely going to let the wildfire result first. So Majin's going to try to pop an E-Pot here. It's pretty safe because there's you're not going to respond with another spell before the wildfire. So he's going to pitch for 3. Yeah, he's going to pitch 4, so he's going to go to 6, and then take 4 out to 2, so he's going to take 1 here. He's going to hit by the Ragamuffin. After the Kano. Use the Cancelos to AB3, to come in for 3 here. Might see another E-Pot, either take 1 from here, or you're going to see another E-Pot come through. Most likely, your opponent either has a bleed, like, this is like a really interesting spot, right? Because Majin might think his opponent has a blazing. If you think your opponent has a blazing, you always think it's going to be E-Pot. So it's just a Waning Moon here, just to get a cheeky couple of damage here from your side. Because it's free, because he's never going to AB this. Brody with his ham sandwich in the background. I think if you think your opponent knows that he has a, because he put a card on back on top, and he topped it, so you know it's a red. So it's either going to be a blazing or just another damage spell. Most of the damage spells are going to get Snyder there, so blazing's going to be the one that you're most careful for. So, oh, he's just going to AB2 here and take 1. Interestingly, not popping an E-Pot there. I guess he's not completely dead. So he's going to pop an E-Pot, and then he's going to... Ooh. So pops an E-Pot to be able to Kano after. So gets the Kano for the blazing, and then he's going to pop an E-Pot for this Scolding Rain, right? So this is count damage here. So you can make the Scolding Rain... it's going to be 3, and you can make it a 4 with, if he pops the E-Pot and Metacarpus nodes. Majin can then, I guess, pop both his E-Pots to AB4 it, and then Blazing's going to come in for 3 or 4. Probably go to 3. He's Scolding and node, go back to 1. You can Blazing for 1, 2, 3, 4 with the node. Plus the E-pot, go to 3. So you use this in the node. So you're just gonna pop the E-pot, go to 4 resources. You're just gonna AB4 here. Then you're blazing. Do you not pay? If he's only saying 3, you forgot to pay the node. I don't think it matters. Realistically, I don't actually think it matters because of he has like no cards in his hand, no E-pots, right? Majin gets a full hand here. Let's look at Majin's hand. Looks like he has triple blue and a oh no, he does not have triple blue because it's a Snart Voltic, so it's a red. So there's double red, double blue in his hand. Damn, double red, double blue is a pretty awkward hand if you really need to kill your opponent on this turn. So your opponent's at 13. You have at least 4 or 5 damage in your hand, how it looks like. So it's like, how do you get the extra? How do you do the extra? If you Blazing's on top, you win the game. If Wildfire's on top, you win the game. He has Eye, so I mean, you just go for it, right? Okay, sees Wildfire. Okay, Wildfire should be lethal here. So, and then, you know, put the blue on top because you need Ragamuffin's Hat as well. So, you can cast it for 4, and then cast it for 4, and then the red Voltic's 5 plus 4, so it's 9, so it's 13 exactly. So let's see if he has enough resources to do both, because it is a lot of resources. Does you Kano, put it back on top. Cast the Wildfire here. And then cast the Voltic as well. And that's going to be lethal here. Majin winning the PTI event in the Kano mirror. Such an insane game, but back and forth. Pretty good tempo playing, going back and forth as well. You can see Flake watching this game intently from the back. Obviously, the boys here. Flake, Majin, here you go. Flake with the good congrats here. Congrats to Majin for winning the PTI event. That's going to be it for this PTI coverage from me. You see Man Sand's beautiful face right there. But that's going to be it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.